if you're anything like me, then you might spend a little bit too much money, energy, or time on a new hobby once you invest in it. Not that it's a bad thing to spend time on your hobbies, but sometimes you jump in the deep end, you jump a little too deep, and that could be financially ruinous or it can be fun. It depends on what kind of person you are. And for me recently, it has been ruinous to the space in my household. As I have been purchasing so many Magic the Gathering cards, I had nowhere really to put them. Hi, I'm McAllister with Toasty DIY, and today I want to talk about my solution for my Magic the Gathering growing problem and just see if that'll help anyone else out there. Because when I Googled Magic the Gathering storage, I was never quite satisfied with all the different options I found. And so I'm going to share some of the ones that I've used to eliminate a lot of the space I was taking up. So the first thing I did is I found this 3D print online. There's this app called Card Castle that lets you scan your cards. I thought that was really cool. So I went down this rabbit hole of like card scanning apparatus to see if there was any that I could buy myself to just sort the cards through and call it easy and done. And somehow I ran across this. This design, I will get more info on it after and probably put little blurbs around here, but I'll give credit to the maker of it. This design here helped me organize my cards very fast. I was doing the Card Kingdom. I set my phone up on a couple boxes and had the cards below and was by hand swapping them out like this. And that was taking forever. And this design, you just slip them in and they slip right into the spot and get scanned. And with the Card Kingdom app, I was having trouble with getting the correct editions and names and all that. And the app that worked best for me was ManaBox. And if you can use ManaBox and you can use this little setup, if you have a 3D printer and make this actual thing, for me, it made it so much easier. If you have access to any place where you can get to a 3D printer, it's about like, for me, it was like a 7-hour print, but oh my gosh, it saved me so much time. And other ways that I tried when I tried to move them by hand, I think my timing was something for about 500 cards. It took me about 15-20 minutes for 500 cards. And in this new setup, I did my entire collection of about 4,000 cards. And I think to do the whole collection once I had this device, it probably took me only about an hour and a half. It was so much easier to do as well. It didn't require as much dexterity and focus and attention. So I was able to just turn on a show and just plunk, plunk, plunk. So the only real problem is actually the more organized your cards are, the less likely it's going to scan well. And my experience, this just means that if you have a play set of cards together, it does not recognize that card multiple times. Otherwise it might, if you like throw a card in there and leave it, it might scan that card for every second you leave it alone, which would cause it to say you have 20 copies of maybe Splinter Twin, the recently unbanned card. So if you want to do it, I recommend shoveling up your cards a little bit, or maybe just making sure you're on top of it. There's a little button to hit plus, plus, plus. So like when I put my Heir Apparents down, it was just, 1, 2, 3. And then that way I knew I had 3 to 4 Heir Apparents, and it was good for me. And it was nice because it immediately told me the price as well. And I could add them to like a binder. If I have them in a binder, I could add them to just being part of a deck if I wanted to have it noted that it's just, this is a deck I'm scanning in. And it made it really easy for me to manage my collection. And now when I have friends around, I can just load up the little app here and I can just go to my cards and just check through my cards, any ones that I have, and it's really just a lot simpler. If I need to find out, oh my gosh, do I own a merfolk character? I can just type in mer, and then, I'm going to see all these merfolk there. I can sort by type, price, all that. So when I want to go and trade in for some cards because I don't want to buy them, I can find out what my highest cost ones are and go, oh, it's green. I don't play green. Great. And sell them very easily. But after finding out how to scan them all in, this was how to kind of digitize everything. I still had a just mass of cards sitting around. What I was doing is I started using the play booster boxes that I was getting and just sorting them into colors. So like Phyrexia All Be One was where all my white cards went. Zendikar Rising, all my green cards. Thunder Juncture was my red cards. And then I had 3D printed some card holders, but those just weren't enough. So I hopped online to look up, Magic the Gathering storage ideas. And while online, I ran into a guy who does like essentially Toasty DIY or Toasty Deals, and he shared this deck storage, and I'm just gonna really quick swap to this right here and find all these different brands. And what was bothering me was I ended up with a lot of these options here, which were like cardboard for like $40, which really was pissing me off and I didn't want to do. But I ended up finding one like this that was $15 at the time. Looks just like this. You'll find different deals, but this was my storage solution that I ended up finding was, I'm sure this was a white labeled sort of thing here. You can find this probably cheaper if you look at the special keywords, but these went on sale for me and I bought 2 of these, and that has stored all my cards and I can store them in, the correct color orientations that I want. Have my lands, have all my artifacts in one spot, my Eldrazi. It's giving me enough room and has the dividers built in. It is practically that thing, but there are all sorts of different ones. This one's $27. You can find them all across the board. This was the one that I purchased, which, as of right now, it says it's this. It's the Tombert one. and I bought it for the largest size. They had a size, yeah, more like this. I got this in black and gray. Super awesome. Was $15 right now. It says limited time deal, but this has been good for me. If you poke around Amazon every so often, I'm sure you'll find deals like this. But I would say this Tombart one has been hard worth the money. It's gotten all my problems put away, and now I have a nice, easy box in which to carry. As I have my own deck boxes for the single ones I take out to, play with my friends. But for bulk storage, they're magnetic. They feel nice. They almost feel like they're made of leather. I know they're not really, but they're really cool. So if you have any other questions that you want to ask, feel free to leave them in the comments down below and I'll try to answer them. But this was just my way of organizing all of my cards I had. It's made it very simple. I do like that app a lot. And when I get rid of a card, I just go in there and mark it off. And when I get a new playset in, I break out that little device and I just start plunking in the cards. And then after that, I organize them by color, put them in the thing, and I'm done. So I think the process, it turns the like intake of new cards into more of like a 20-minute task instead of being like an hour, because I'd have to find out exactly where they go so I can go find that card again. Now that I know that that card exists, I don't know how many of you will need the immediacy to get to your card like so quickly. For me, I just need to know that I own the card and that I can find it, because after that, I know it's in its color suite and I just need to go ahead and look through those, because you can't really win everything with those. I can organize those now by rarity or whatever I'd like, but I just think that's too much for me. This does it enough. As long as I have them color coordinated and I know where to find that color, I can just search for the card I need when I need it. So, like I said, comments down below, and thank you all for watching. Peace.